Hello, and welcome back to the CSE Innovation Insights, where we sit down with innovators, thinkers, and other ecosystem leaders to distill emerging insights of technology, trends, and innovation across the world. Today, we are very excited. We are sitting in Mulas Robotics. Mulas Robotics is the largest independent robotic hub in the world. It's located in Boston. And if you haven't visited, I really recommend you to come and take a look, especially if you are in the field of robotics. I'm joined today by Tyler Bouchard, CEO and co-founder of Flexxbotics. And he's a resident of Mulas Robotics, but he has a very cool startup that we are going to talk about. So Tyler, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, thanks Victor for having me.
All right, so let's start. Can you briefly introduce yourself and share your journey as an entrepreneur? How do you become an entrepreneur? What was your journey with the company you founding Flexxbotics, and where are you now?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name again is Tyler Bouchard. I'm CEO, co-founder of Flexxbotics. Started my career off in industrial automation, working for companies like Cognex, Mitsubishi, Novanta. So I had pretty good familiarity with automation equipment and how it fits in manufacturing environments. Early on, saw that there was basically a trend within robotics of collaborative robots that were being introduced, and saw an opportunity to be able to build solutions for that type of application. And our other co-founder, his name's also Tyler Medelsky, he worked within manufacturing, in high compliance manufacturing for a company called Waters Corporation. He was heading up their automation division, implementing automation globally. And he saw that there was a need for automation solutions that could be able to help comprehend various business systems and process integration of robots into facilities that many things were breaking down, they were siloed, and the robots weren't able to communicate with factory equipment. So we took kind of the combination of the market opportunity plus the problem, and looked to start Flexxbotics, and took it off from there.
Oh, I love that. That's the perfect combination, no?
Yeah.
I mean, you have the industry insights, you know what is the gap, and then you have the technical insights, and you put it together. So
yeah,
I'm very excited. So tell us a little bit more about Flexxbotics. I mean, what do you do? What is special about you? What do you address in the industry?
Yeah, definitely. I'll start with, like I was talking about before, how we came to be and what do we do that specializes within that. If you look at, today and historically with automation, how it's been implemented, there's a key component of automation, which is process integration. If you're implementing, any type of robotic solution into a manufacturing environment, what are the things that are needed to make sure that whatever that robot's doing is adhering to that process control correctly? So to date, a lot of those installations, they're kind of custom one-off, and they don't comprehend the actual process integration within that. So the robot is incompatible with the surrounding equipment. It lacks that process integration, and it's can be data siloed from business systems that are controlling that process control. So that kind of lack of context and information can make it very difficult to not only make a single robot project successful, but the deployment of dozens or hundreds of robots across the manufacturing environment, impossible. So what we did at Flexxbotics was, went and kind of attacked what the root problem of this issue was, which is the incompatibilities between the robot and capital equipment within the work cell. There's several different industrial protocols that, robots, machines that talk, and they don't communicate with each other.
So let me just distill a little bit for my understanding as a person outside of the field. When you talk about process integration, you mean I'm in the factory. I'm thinking, hey, I would like to automatize this more. I want to be more efficient. I say, okay, I met Tyler. He seems to have an amazing solution for that. But we care very much about how we produce things, how much we know about the specifications of our pieces, what we need, and how they fit with each other. Yep. I'm not sure. I mean, something like technology is gonna fit on me. So that's where you come, right? So tell me, what is process integration on this conversation?
Yeah.
Can you put it into practical?
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's the manufacturers' know-how or recipe to consistently make the parts that they're doing to the highest level of degree, right? Repeatability within creating those parts and highest level of quality within those parts. so that they can be able to, at the end of the day, get the most margin out of those parts. So that process that manufacturers have created is really kind of the bedrock of how they're able to differentiate themselves within a market or an industry. So by taking that process and making sure that it's translated to the robot and into the work cell ensures that they can keep their differentiated advantage within the market as they install robots, and then be able to build on that by taking the benefits of robotics.
Right. So what you do and what you are good at is that integration, you convert that thing that is intangible in a process that is automated.
Exactly.
And that gives the automation advantage and creates that process. All right. I get it completely. And they will be very happy if you implement that well. And the other thing you mentioned, just for me to understand it, when you talk about the rest of the capital equipment, do you mean the existing hardware and equipment that is there in the factory that is not a robot yet, but is there, and you need to integrate with it because you still need it in the production line? That's what you mean. You do that integration.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the way we look at it, it's any piece of equipment that has a PLC or programmable logical controller on it. That may be tended by humans in the situation. And these machines are actually, in a sense, a form of automation that they're within their facility. And it's the ability for the robot to be able to communicate with these pieces of equipment. Because at the end of the day, when a human's interacting with these machines, there's a bunch of different intricacies and nuances that they need to do to be able to keep those machines running. And a lot of times that can be tribal knowledge of what those people have. So it's taking that and being able to put that in the robot and create a pathway for the robot to be able to communicate and adjust those things in real time on the machine as if a human's in front of it and doing those adjustments.
All right. No, I'm picturing that totally in my science fiction movie head, and say like in the space movie where the human is just touching the bottom, but it's basically the rest is automatized, right?
Yeah, exactly. How can you be able to automate that kind of type of communication, as well as being able to do all the mechanical things that a person's doing in front of that machine? Okay,
so basically you take their factory to the future, basically, or to the present today, because that's where we are. But you get directly into automation now. What is unique about Flexxbotics compared to other solutions? There are other robotics providers in manufacturing. There are many right now. So what is unique about you that you would say like, oh, that's what we do that is completely different than others, and that's where we are taking it next?
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, what we had our breakthrough innovation in technologies, we call it FlexCore, which is basically it's an architecture for us to create bi-directional communication between the robot and the pieces of equipment. We call that bi-directional communication, we call them transformers. So that's where you have a certain brand of robot being able to communicate with a certain brand of machine. That's a transformer. And so we've created a library of these transformers that allows us to be able to have compatibility with over 1,000 makes and models of pieces of equipment. So it creates a situation where that you're both agnostic to the type of equipment that you're communicating with, but within a machine tending type of the broad range of applications, you're actually agnostic to the type of applications you can be able to do because of that direct communication that you can have with the equipment.
Correct. So you basically created the Esperanto of the robots to talk with each other, regardless of the language they have.
Yes, exactly. It's a translation that we can be able to provide through that with that architecture. And that architecture itself is differentiated by our ability to how quickly we can create those transformers. So, we've done some studies from, custom type of, we'll say, communication that you need to create between the robot and equipment. We can do that about 22 times faster than the average installation. So that really helps from both, the level of functionality we can provide with it, but also the efficiency of our deployment of these types of setups that even if it's something that we're creating a new transformer, that we can do it, way faster than the rest of the industry.
All right, fantastic. And can you give me a couple of use cases that for the audience to understand what does it mean in practice? Something that comes to mind, that the latest one that you've been seeing.
Yeah, I think a great use case of this application is a situation where you have a robot tending in a CNC. So this is a subtractive type of manufacturing process where you have some type of inline inspection, say either a vision system or in a lot of situations a CMM. A CMM is a coordinate measuring machine. And these are used generally in high compliance manufacturing environments where you need to be able to have very accurate ways of being able to measure if a part is within the tolerance or spec that it has. So what we do is put, a robot that's basically tending to those machines, and then we are taking the output from the inspection device. So in the situation, a CMM, and we're actually taking that output and mapping it to the machining process. So we're taking critical dimensions off of CMM and mapping those to actually the machining execution that's happening on the CNC machine. And particular to CNC applications, it's called being able to applying offsets in real time. So we're taking that information and we're applying those offsets so we can be able to adjust the machining process in real time to make sure those parts are staying within specification. So we call this this use case and the broader use case, the broader technology of this house is autonomous process control, and this is a good use case of that.
Right, and can you give me a sense of are you applying this to very large companies, or very small companies, or everyone? I want to just get a sense of how much sophistication your clients need to have to implement something like that. Is that something that an SME can say, hey, I really want to go into this next step, apply all these technologies, be at the top of my game and be able to compete, or do I need to be larger to do that?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, what we focus on is, we'll say, mindset of manufacturers that are looking to be able to have advanced solutions and be able to scale robotics within their facility. Those tend to be, in a lot of situations, larger organizations, large contract manufacturers and OEMs, but we work with a variety of size of customers as long as they have that type of mindset, knowing that I'm not trying to be able to just do a one-off custom robot within my facility. I'm looking for a way to be able to scale automation. So how do I get to 70, 80% of automation, over whatever time frame that is, but having that in their minds that's what the goal and intention of what they're trying to do.
All right. And what is next? Because now, you are doing robots and robotics in the manufacturing, which is an amazing field, and it's supporting a lot of companies and having a lot of impact. But we're also seeing another development that is going very fast right now, which is AI.
Yep.
And kind of it's in parallel to robotics. Some people call it like the soft bites and then the hard bites, and at some point they will get together. But AI and software is going very, very fast right now.
Yep.
It's evolving at a speed, light speed right now. What is next for you? How are you gonna take advantage of that? What is the integration looking like, and how is that in practice for you in the next steps?
Definitely, yeah. So I'll talk a little bit about kind of what we're doing and where we're going. So I think one of the most important aspects within utilizing AI models in any application, whatever application you're trying to do, but specifically within manufacturing, is being able to get access to clean and relevant data that you can be able to use. And so part of our technology and architecture that we have with FlexCore allows us to have basically a unified data model that we can be able to capture all the information in the cell and be able to then have access to this relevant type of data. So what we're starting to do now is be able to use that data and be able to train models to be able to deploy in various manufacturing environments. And what we're focusing on first right now is deploying actually agentic AI into the transformer creation and configuration process. So what I was talking about, that bidirectional communication we have between equipment, the actual being able to build those and configure those so that you can be able to apply it to specific applications in manufacturing environments and have that be done fully autonomously.
So basically you are reducing the transaction cost of adoption of your technology and allowing much more, even companies with less resources to take advantage of this technology and apply it faster.
Exactly, and you can imagine this, alludes to a more platform type of environment where you can have users and contributors being able to utilize, the infrastructure of the platform to be able to develop on, build on, and be able to exactly accelerate the adoption within their environments. But that new form is going to need the ability to be able to communicate with the business systems down to the factory floor and be able to have that bidirectional communication and be able to communicate with each other. So that, I think, the introduction of that new type of automation equipment is going to need the inherent, breakthrough innovation that we have with FlexCore to make sure that automation can be deployed efficiently and be able to operate efficiently.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Before we finish, I wanted to ask you for a question we asked to all of our interviewees, which is a little bit of your wisdom and through your lessons learned in your journey as entrepreneur. So is there any lesson learned that you had that you can share with the audience about people that would like to also be entrepreneurs, start a company, especially in your field or in robotics or in general, in these fields that of technology that go that go very fast.
Yeah, definitely. I can think of specific type of advice for the field and industry that we've been focused in is definitely the combination of software and hardware, right? I think there's kind of can be a fiction towards building something that is entirely software only, but robotics is the combination of software and hardware, especially within manufacturing, and it's really marrying the two. And I think that there's inherently more value when you combine those. So when starting off an entrepreneurial journey within robotics, some people might tell you to abandon the hardware and focus on software, but it's the combination of the two that I think creates the most value. So that's something that I think we take to heart, and why our deployments with customers are so successful is because of that.
All right. So I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you a final question because you just brought that into my mind. And look, I grew up with Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So I grew up like seeing like the robots speaking, but that's not happening. So and you are talking about this integration between the hardware and the software. When are we going to see robots that are like helping us and they behave like humans around us and helping? When do you think that will happen? Now?
Yeah, I think it's anybody's guess on that, but I think you can start to see if you look at some of the progression of it, you can see that some of the pilots and implementation of that is starting to happen. I think right now it's figuring out where humanoids fit within the process of manufacturing and the already automation infrastructure that you have. So talking with other humanoid companies and seeing, I think it's the more unstructured environments that they're going to be able to provide the most value, and then driving down to the more structured automation environments, the free flow of parts and equipment through that. So I think focusing on that, like I said, anybody's guess, but the next 5 years, I think that, the implementation of that is going to be much more widely used. And honestly, with the advancements in, perceptive technology that humanoids, outside of manufacturing are going to have a significant amount of use cases as well, too. So, like I said, if I knew how to crystal ball, I, may be in a better situation, to answer that. But I think that, understanding where do they fit in the value chain of automation is a key aspect that humanoid companies need to be able to figure out right now.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, one day it will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much. And just last question for the audience is if somebody wants to follow your work and follow your company's work, how should they follow you? Do you have like LinkedIn or do you have like a website?
I mean, Flexxbotics.com is one of the best places to be able to go on. You can sign up for our newsletter, and then following us on LinkedIn, we also have a newsletter that we put out on there as well. So seeing the latest advancements we have, customer success stories, things like that, that's a great place to go.
All right, thank you. Well, fantastic. Thank you very
Victor.
much.
Yeah, appreciate it.